Let's do this.
A loser. Someone who repeatedly sacrifices their dignity, self-respect, or personal growth for short-term desires. Now, the term loser has changed a lot over the years. Growing up, whenever someone said the word loser, you immediately think the nerds, the gamers, the anime fans, the kid Naruto running down the halls, but they were never the actual losers. To be honest, they're
Facts.
probably the most down-to-earth person you speak to. They have true
Facts.
passion for what they love. Being a loser was
Facts.
never about your hobbies. It was your behavior, and not gonna lie, this whole vid stems from Rent a Girlfriend, that piece of garbage. Kazuya is the pure embodiment of a loser. 14 seasons, 7 million chapters, showcasing how much of a bum the main character is. They took D-Gen off the map for talking about this, and since she put my life on the line, fuck it, take me.
Bro, who even watches that? I've never watched it. I've never even gotten the urge to watch it. Why would you even watch Rent a Girlfriend?
Me, Senshi, Billa, and Zeph take us all out the game. So it starts with him getting dumped by his girl. Living in straight filth, he might be worse than Asmongold. And he's sitting here constantly thinking of his ex getting it on with someone else. That's turning him on, by the way. He likes that shit. So instead
What
of,
the hell?
bettering yourself or maybe go outside perhaps, you're in college. That's the easiest way to meet people. You'll eventually get another girl if that's what you want. But nah, he decides to go on his phone and rent a girlfriend.
He said it! He said it!
That is so bizarre to me that I thought the only way you would be able to think of something like this
Nah,
is if
it's
you
a
was putting it in
thing.
an anime, but it recently came to my attention. This is a real thing.
Yeah.
Niggas in Japan could actually rent a girlfriend. Anyways, he goes on a date with the girl, and I
Crazy.
thought this was a Apple Pay situation, paying through the app before she pulls up, but that was not the case. They sat down, he pulled out his wallet, opened it,
It's so crazy that it's an actual thing that people in Japan do. I wonder, like, is there any other country where people do that? Are you able to do that in maybe South Korea? I don't know. If somebody knows, do put that in the comments.
then handed the cash directly in her hands. Do you have no shame? You had 4 chances to avoid this humiliation, but you still went through with it. And all day, he's been falling for the hezzy. She's talking about some, oh my gosh, this is my first time ever coming to an aquarium. Yo, stop lying. Yes, you have. You're rated 5 stars. Not a single bad
5
review. I know
star.
none of them niggas took you to an aquarium. And later in the night, she initiates the hand holding, bro. Did you forget you paid for the experience? She doesn't like you. All she's trying to do is make you a reoccurring customer. Then when he gets home, he pulls out the reviews and realizes she holds everyone's hand. You're not special. So instead of taking that L to the chest,
Damn.
accept that you just gave that woman money to acknowledge you and move on. He rents her again. This time though, he's trying to belittle her, asking how she doesn't feel heartless for what she's doing, but she is genuinely running game on this nigga.
No way, I really love this job. After all, I get to meet people like you.
Bang! Bang! Knicks take a 1-point lead!
I don't understand
Damn.
what this was supposed to accomplish. At the end of the day, you paid her twice. You're the get-rich scheme. You're the method. You can't be mad at anyone but yourself. You're the one keeping her in business. Even his parents know he's a loser. When she followed him to the hospital, they didn't even entertain the girlfriend possibility for more than a nanosecond. Immediately shut that down. Afterwards, they were talking and he started trauma dumping the saddest thing I ever heard. He was like, my grandma is a legend in our family. Her biggest wish was me to find a special someone before she passes on, and I want to grant her that wish. I had a girlfriend recently, but she dumped me before I could introduce her. Then I rented you out of desperation. I'm so lame, aren't I? What am I, a rabbit?
What?
Who's all alone?
No. That's crazy. Hey, that's
And I kid you
crazy.
not, him and his friends casually have convos on the amount of times they beat they shit in a day.
Yo, Kazuya, how many times you jerk it yesterday?
Wow.
Only 3 times.
Stop it.
That friend group gotta be top 5 worst friend groups to ever exist. Out of the 1,000 things you can talk about, why would that ever be the topic of discussion?
You know what's crazy? Some of my favorite animes don't even get animation this good, but somehow this one gets anime this good. Where do they even get the budget, bro? Who's funding this? How many seasons are there? Somebody has to be watching this.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
He's doing exactly what you think he is. This scene was actually so unnecessary. I believed him when he said it. I didn't need proof. And he's doing it to a picture of his ex-girl. I don't know. And I hope you didn't think that was a one-time thing. Within the span of 2 minutes, he's about to do it again to the 5-second interaction they had prior. Yo, this nigga
What?
is an actual lost cause. At this point, I'm convinced she casted some black magic, because why are you always imagining her fucking somebody?
Oh man, I'm such a loser.
I'm glad you know. And there was this whole thing of her degrading him in front of everyone. And I don't mean slight remarks. She is genuinely trying to destroy his character. Shizuru actually stands up for him, telling him, yo, you shouldn't let her talk like that.
It's just how I am. She's not wrong.
Oh my god, bro.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
You can't be serious. Yo, you allowed her to fully degrade you, and then you followed her instructions to a T. You might as well get on all fours and lick her shoes while you're at it. The worst part is, he sits back down like a good boy, and she proceeds to order off the menu for him. Bro, you are a grown man. And I don't mean she's ordering something he could have mentioned earlier, or she was ordering for the whole table. No, she gave him what she wanted him to have.
Oh my god.
And throughout the whole show, he's constantly crying on how pathetic he is.
Bro, who's watching this? What is this even about? What's the plot? Hey man, they be making animes about anything these days. That's
But
crazy
he'll go
though.
out and do the same thing he was mad at himself for doing. Oh, and by the way, Shizuru is never with him because she wants to. Deadass, every time you see them together, he pays a fee for that to happen. It's like every woman in this show is running game on him, bro. It's getting ridiculous. And if you thought the gooning was over, boy oh boy, you were so wrong. For some reason, these same 10 people do everything in unison. They're always at the same place at the same time, not planned. So they always at the beach, took some pictures. When he gets home, he checks the group chat, sees his ex. Oh man, I guess it's about that time.
What?
For the next 2 minutes.
What?
Like seriously, the next 2 whole minutes of runtime. You need a hobby, man. This is getting bad. Pick up reading, a sport, something. Why is there so many scenes of this?
Go
It's
do something,
it's
bro.
It's too much. And apparently the author fell in love with Shizuru, fell in love with his own drawing, his own made up person. He's been seen on Twitter shipping himself with her, drawing her around his daily life and shit. Part of me wants to believe it's some type of promo to keep up the audience attention, but at the same time, you never know. Cause he even changed Kazuya in the manga so he'll look more like him. See, that right there makes me believe he's really too far gone. This whole story is really 15 million chapters of nonsense.
Hey, I don't think this is an anime, bro. This guy is really telling us his real life. That's gotta be his real life, bro.
I'm tired of talking about him. He gets so many chances to improve, but just chooses not to. Now, I know I'm late, but I just watched this movie a few days ago. Bear from Obsession.
I've
At the
never
start,
watched
he
it.
comes off as a normal guy who's scared to tell a girl he likes her. You know, we've all been there. He then makes a wish for said girl to love him more than anything in the world. At first, he thought it was just a coincidence. You know, maybe she liked me the whole time, but bro, this is not Disney Channel. Every sign that showed up screaming that Nikki isn't herself, instead of saying, hold on, this is getting kind of weird, I don't look that good, he leans into it. He embraced it. That good guy act went down the drain. When they was kissing on the bed and she screamed out of nowhere, red flag on a play, my boy, that ain't normal. Then your dead cat that you put in a bag and I don't know, stuffed in the closet? How does she get access to that? You woke up in the morning with that shit on display. That should be a
What?
telltale sign that something is severely wrong. You knew her for a couple of years. That's more than enough time to figure out if someone's weird or not. So he told his boy about it, and they came to the conclusion that, yeah, she's deaf on Molly. And even with that possibility in the air, he still gets in a relationship with her. A whole compilation and everything. Maybe the dead cat on display wasn't enough proof. So flashback to the night when he made the wish. She tells him that her dad was dying, you know, sad baiting, crying and all. Both him and his boy was confused, like, wait, she was crying about her dad. The same dad that she doesn't give a damn about, apparently. Do you know how much you have to not like someone for it to be a known fact that you don't like them? Hours upon hours of grinding. Bringing that nigga name up just so you can slander it. That is what I call dedication. And they knew it was too, because homeboy calls his phone mid-date. Yeah,
Wait, did the wish actually work for those who've actually watched it? Did the wish actually work, or is this a coincidence? Somebody clarify that for me.
yeah, remember when she told you her dad had cancer? Yeah, she lied. He's
Cap.
as healthy as a human can possibly be. In fact, he's on the cover magazine of Men's Health. That nigga is overly healthy. And you would think after hearing that, Barry would be like, nah, this isn't okay. Who would lie about that? He goes home and sleeps with her. Nigga, that is the purple fruit. Nigga, that's grape. Nigga, that's grape. This is not okay, buddy. You're weird. Then she tapes her front door. Oh, that's just Nikki, man. She's fine. Cooks your dead cat into a sandwich. Oh,
What the hell?
Your own best friend tells you that the situation is making you look like a weirdo. Oh, that's just Nikki, man. She's fine. Come home after a 13-hour shift with her waiting at the door, standing in her own filth. Oh, that's just Nikki, man. She's fine. When is she not fine? Every day can't be sunshine and rainbows. You have an excuse for everything she does. By this point, there ain't no more pretending. He knows.
Yeah, it's time to bounce, bro. Leave the country altogether. Because I know this is some people's reality. I don't know how you get into a relationship like that. Maybe they seem normal at first, but man, the signs have to be there. And you gotta have that mentality to leave, I mean. Leave before it's too late. This is crazy, man. We even wrote this show.
What's going on. Him calling the One Wish Hollow Company told us everything we needed to know. And the two moments that happened after this, first being at the party where she randomly starts yelling, "It's not me, it's not me," stabbing herself with a broken bottle. And second is when she's lying in bed, literally asking for Bear to kill her because the fake version is asleep. And he thinks absolutely nothing about both situations, by the way. In fact, when she was lying in bed pleading to be freed, the first thing this nigga says, wait, what's so bad about being with me? Man, shut that shit up. Nobody want to hear that sorry shit. Free that girl. Trapped her in this hell of loving yo lame ass. And his two best friends and him end up dying because of this man. Long story short, fellas, if you like that girl, tell her. Ladies, if you like that guy, tell him. Cause truly, you never know. They might like you back. You don't want to be a bear. Now, someone who actually saddens me to talk about.
That's crazy. So the wish actually worked, and she was trapped in that state of loving him, but she didn't want to. So she was basically self-destructing. If I'm wrong, correct me in the comments, but I think I'm spot on.
About, but he has to be on this list. Mordecai. As much as I rock with Mordecai, I have to come to terms with the fact that he's a
my
loser.
boy.
He's had a thing for Margaret for so long and refused to do anything about it. I swear she's been with 15 different niggas before Mordecai got the courage to ask her out. You know, at some point, you see this girl every day, you gotta say something. But that's not what makes him a loser. Being nervous doesn't make you a loser. Everyone gets nervous. But not everyone would vaporize their best mans over some shit like that. Now, Rigby doesn't get a free pass because he is truly the biggest L-mans in history. I can't fully call him a loser, but he for sure has loser tendencies. He made Margaret laugh one time and all of us.
You know what? As much of a loser Rigby is, he has the best girlfriend in the show. And she truly completes him. As much of a loser as he is, because he is a loser. But as soon as he started dating Eileen, he changed.
Honey, he think he Dave Chappelle, going out his way to make her laugh just to get Mordecai jealous. And the cherry on top, he asked Margaret out to the movies right in front of him, and she said yes. Nigga, I will behead you. Not gonna lie, Mordecai, I apologize. Your reaction was actually valid. The rage bait was so serious, he had Mordecai deadass tweaking. Bro was staring at a blank static screen. I don't blame you for pushing him. Now, this is the only case where I give Mordecai a pass, but there are countless other occasions where I can't defend this dude. It got so bad to where he was buying cologne that would apparently make Margaret fall in love with him, or when he was clowning Rigby for wanting to go to this concert, but the millisecond he heard Margaret was going, he was all for it. Really begged Bessie for overtime to afford the tickets, just for when you actually get there, you will see Margaret chilling with her boyfriend.
Wow.
There was this other time where she left for college, had Mordecai depressed for months. When he finally got himself back together, you think, oh, finally, he must have got over her. No. He was doing laundry, came across a sweater she left behind, and this nigga really drove 20 hours just to give it back to her. And not only that, he kicked Rigby out the car because he was the only person making
Damn.
sense. 20 hours is ridiculous. I don't know how his brain allowed him to do that. If I even go past 2, that's when I start getting mad at everything. The rest of the ride is no music, just straight wind noise. And I don't even gotta explain this next clip. Just look.
Bro was obsessed. 20 hours to go give a jersey back or a sweater? That's crazy, man. Couldn't be me.
Chariot, milady.
Thanks again for letting me borrow your car.
Hey, it'll be nice having you drive me around.
For a change.
Makes me feel special.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
This dude is like 25, borrowing her chariot to take her out. You've been working for 7 years, bro. Is Benson not paying you? And when he met CJ, someone who actually liked him, someone who wasn't with a different nigga every week, someone who had the same interests, he finally found a woman he should cherish, but no.
He was
finds
still
every
chasing
possible way
Margaret.
to mess it up. He invites both CJ and Margaret to the same movie. They both find out, so he ends up going with neither one of them. Later on, he officially makes CJ his girl. They go to this Christmas party. Margaret happens to be there, and this dumbass nigga gonna kiss Margaret. How CJ forgives him is beyond me.
What?
But the worst of them
I
all,
remember
he
that.
goes to Muscle Man's wedding. The day to celebrate Muscle Man and Starla, but this guy somehow makes the day about him in front of all these people. Makes a whole speech on not knowing who his soulmate is when CJ is in the same room. Embarrassed her in front of all these people. And that was the last time for the rest of the show we ever seen her. Spent multiple seasons chasing Margaret, fumbled 99% of the time, finally gets with someone who genuinely likes him, but threw it all
And
away.
he fumbled.
This guy sucks. Now, those first 3 were romance related, but this next one is a loser in a different sense.
Man, I never realized Mordecai was a loser, bro. Hey, he's funny though.
Greg Heffley. You don't even realize it until you go back and rewatch the movies when you're older. This little dude swear he's the talk of the town. Obsessed with looking cool, but hasn't done a single cool thing throughout any of the movies. He couldn't even find a seat at a lunch table. And Rowley, his only friend, loyal into the very end. But I guess that isn't enough, because Greg treats him like shit. Clowns on everything he does, what he wears, how he acts, picking out what he wears, changing the way he walks. And I don't know what type of
Hell,
game this is.
mans,
What's
bro.
the end goal, the objective? I just know Greg is the one who came up with this. Why are we throwing footballs at the other person riding down the hill? There's a reason he ain't want to go first. He knew this was stupid. Ended up breaking Rowley's arm. And when Rowley was the one who gained all the attention,
Hey, I'm the one who broke his hand. Then you're a jerk.
and he was dead jealous that Rowley had all the motion. So he tried faking his own cast, but they do not fuck with you, bro. Hang up the jersey. Then the kid who was in charge of doing the school cartoons got sick. Greg seen this as an opportunity, and after 2 wasted notebooks, he finally realized he can't do this alone. He calls Rowley over to help him, so he's showing him what he likes.
No, it's not funny. Well, I think it is. I like Zooey Mama. You know what? If you like it so much, then Why don't you go do it yourself?
What? Yo, you called him over here. What do you mean do it yourself?
You're
You didn't want to do it
weird,
in the
bro.
first place. Yo, this kid is a genuine asshole, and it only gets worse from here. They're both
How are you his friend and you're hating on him? Plus, you called him for help. He is weird, bro. He's moving weird.
in the safety patrol, and with the cast on, Rowley isn't able to get wet, so he couldn't walk the kids home. Greg borrows Rowley's jacket, told all the kids to get in the hole. The neighbors seen that, said, yo, what's going on? Rowley, is that you? Yeah, it's me.
Wow.
Got his ass sent to the principal's office, got his badge removed, kicked off the team. Greg talks to his mom very vaguely about it. I know the truth about something, and if I say it, it could hurt somebody. But if I don't, it could hurt somebody else. Well, just go with your gut, Greg.
I decided to let Rowley take one for the team.
Wow. This kid has the soul of a demon. And after everything
After
all the consequences was dealt out, is when he finally decides to tell Rowley the truth, and that's all he did. Tell the truth. Not an ounce of remorse, not a single sorry escaped his mouth. He said, yeah, it was me. But we both learned a valuable lesson from this. I gotta watch for who's around, and you need to watch who you lend your coat to.
Something's wrong with him. That's not human, man. That's not regular, man. He was a devil.
Now, someone who is way worse than everyone on the list combined. Man, I've been waiting so long to slander this bitch ass nigga. Ruthless.
You know what's crazy? Some kids are that devious, man.
I probably talked about him before, but I don't remember. I would never pass up a chance to get the Mushoku Tensei fans mad. Rudius, your GOAT, is a fucking loser. More than a loser, actually. He's the scum of the earth. The difference between him and everyone else is that everyone else is redeemable. Kazuya, Mordecai, Greg, I wouldn't mind having an exchange of words with them. Rudius, I don't even want to be seen in the same room. So Rudius before the reincarnation was a shut-in. He stood a shut-in for the next 20 years before he got kicked out. You want to know the reason why he got kicked out? No. Instead of attending his parents' funeral, he decided to stay his funky ass here and goon to a video of his niece bathing, which he got by placing a hidden camera in the shower.
What the hell?
Defend this nigga, truly, you need to be exterminated. This is not a safe space. If you see any comments like that, get on their ass. I usually don't condone bullying, but sometimes it's needed. So he gets kicked out and ends up getting hit by a truck, reincarnating into a new world. Now, you would think that given a second chance, he would make the most of it, bettering himself as a person, not repeating the same mistakes he did the first time. But no. He doesn't change. He actually creates a shrine of his teacher's panties. What? A holy relic he worships for good luck.
Hey!
Extremely weird, but somehow not the worst thing he's done. Later on in the series, he actually falls in love and does it with Eris. She is 15, by the way. You see how that's wrong, right? The Rudius Glazers love to say, oh, but he was reincarnated. He's actually younger than she is. No, he's not. Not at all. That's not how that works.
He's mind of a grown man.
He kept all his memories, experiences, and knowledge from his previous life. He's mentally a grown-ass man, which makes him a grown-ass man. You don't see us calling little people kids just because they're little. If they've been alive for 30 years, they're 30 years old. Use that same logic for Rudius. And you know the exact excuse they always make?
Oh, but actually, he's been a shut-in for 20 years, so technically, mentally, he's still a middle schooler.
Yo, shut that shit up. You're acting as if you were strapped to a chair in a 1x1 box for...
You know what? That show could have been an elite show if they just wrote the main character a different way.
2 decades.
That's the way they cooked it, bro.
To media. The only thing that excuse would make sense to is if you were calling him awkward. Cause yes, being a shut-in for 20 years will make you socially inept, but you don't just stop using your brain. So he goes to this school, ends up reuniting with his childhood friend, and of course they couldn't keep this a platonic relationship. They ended up doing the do. That girl is 16. What more do I have to say? All y'all Rudius fans, and we can even bring this to real life. There was a time where you couldn't get past 3 scrolls on social media before seeing another one of those prank videos. There was this guy who was running around around the streets of Paris, injecting people with a mystery syringe. How do you even
Yo, isn't that a crime, bro? That's gotta be a crime. What kind of prank is that?
think of that shit? I'm pretty sure he got sentenced to 12 months in prison too. But the worst
12
of the
months?
worst, this happened like 3 years ago. Y'all probably seen this already. But this is my first time ever seeing this. This dude gave his friend a fucking horse laxative.
What the hell?
He is in pure agony.
That
Not
could
gonna
kill
lie.
you.
After he exited that stall and wiped that nigga off the face of the planet, he's sitting there laughing and recording at your suffering, all for some views. For views that left his life the exact same way. He ain't gained a single dime for doing this to him. And another thing, the grown ass men posting birthday countdowns on their story. A week in advance, I guess. 3 days, I guess. The day before, sure. But nigga, why am I seeing 31 days into my birthday? What are we doing? See, you not a loser for that, but that's definitely some early signs. You got some tendencies.
Bloodhounds is next. I don't know what that means, but yeah, we'll be reacting to that. But anyway, I enjoyed watching this. This was funny. I've never watched majority of these shows. I think I've only watched the last one. I've never watched the other ones, but hey, I watched regular show too, so I was lying. I watched regular show and I like regular show. But hey, if you do agree with what he said, put that in the comments. I'd like to hear what you guys think, but I think it was spot on. Like, the reasoning is spot on. But anyway, that's just me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I enjoyed reacting to this, and on that note, thank you for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.